Hello everyone, my name is MJ Kiran and I am here today with my team to present a presentation on the topic of Samridd Bharat, creating pathways towards prosperity and sustainable development. So let's talk about prosperity. Prosperity is not just about money or wealth, it's about making sure that people live their lives to the fullest. It ensures that people get fair job opportunities, better healthcare and other opportunities. In the case of Samridd Bharat, it's about making a nation that's sustainable for the future and strong and independent on its own. I would now like to call upon Lakshita to continue the presentation.
Thank you, Jaykiran, for the introduction. Now let's dive into the next part of our PPT. As you all can see, this slide is all about sustainable development. Let me begin with a question. What happens when all the natural resources are used up, like the forest and water resources? It is the point where the idea of sustainable development comes into action. So what is sustainable development? It means that developing the country without damaging the environment so that the future generation can have access to it. Now let's travel back to the year 1992 to a city called Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. That's where all the world leaders of more than 170 countries met for the Earth Summit, popularly known as United Nations Conference on Environment and Development. The aim was to create pathways to protect the environment while developing the country. The key outcome was Agenda 21 that aims at attaining a sustainable living at the 21st century. It mainly focuses on reducing poverty, eco-friendly growth and saving all natural resources. This Rio Summit has reminded us that protecting Earth is everyone's responsibility. So we must remember that we did not inherit the Earth from our ancestors, we just borrowed it from our children. With this, I conclude my part and I would like to invite Dilshan who will take us further.
Thank you Lakshita for telling us what is sustainable development. Does any of you guys know what is 2030 agenda? The 2030 agenda for sustainable development adopted by all United Nations members in 2015 to achieve social, economic and environmental sustainability by 2030. It created the 17 sustainable developmental goals aimed at ending poverty, protecting the planet, ensuring prosperity for all people whether they are rich or poor. I am handing over this PPT to Subhanidhi.
Thank you, Dulshan. Now let us look at some common practices used for sustainable development. Using renewable energy such as from solar panels and wind turbines, creating green spaces in cities like parks, and recycling and waste to energy processes to ensure a pollution-free environment, using sustainable agricultural and economical cropping methods, and building with eco-friendly materials have proven to be very effective. Moreover, these practices encourage us to minimize the overall negative impact on the society and the environment. Let us look at some graphs. As of the year 2024 to 25, India's overall SDG index score has rose to 67, thus entering the top 100 countries in the global rank. As compared to 2018, which is 7 years ago, India has shown a steady and remarkable progress in attaining sustainable development. Now my friend Nithil will be taking over and explain some implementations taken by the government to attain sustainable development.
Thank you, Subhanidhi. After seeing that India developed a lot in SDGs, we must have a question on how India did it. The answer is very simple. India did it by launching programs which were mainly focused towards achieving SDGs. For example, NATI Ayog introduced SDG India Index which helps towards monitoring the progress of the country. Or other schemes like Jam Trinity were useful in updating Aadhaar. Now I would like to call Niranjana who would further explain the presentation.
As we control this step, it helps the environment to prevent degradation and protect itself from many natural disasters, depletion of resources, loss of soil fertility and even soil erosion, which results in development in environmental sector. Now as environmental sector develops, it helps the government to take the cost that is saved for the development of environmental sector and invest it in better healthcare facilities and educational institutions in urban and rural areas, which leads to social development. Finally, as education and healthcare are the major factors of a country's economy, it helps in job opportunities popping up in many places, which also increases the GDP of the country and thus results in economic development. As this is a cyclic process, it helps all the three sectors to balance themselves equally. Finally, just like the famous words, the destination of 1,000 miles begins with one step, it also reflects the fact that our nation's future depends upon the decisions that we take today. So make your decision count. As for the concluding note, I would like to invite Sudiksha for the same.
Thank you, Niranjana. Before concluding, I would like to raise a question. How can we secure our future? To secure our future, we must protect our environment. Programs like Mishti and afforestation efforts aim to increase 33% forest by 2030. National platforms like the India Forum Nature-Based Solutions promotes knowledge sharing and investment in NBS. Using digital and smart techniques makes the sustainability easier. In conclusion, Samridd Bharat, a prosperous and sustainable India, is not just a dream but a goal that every citizen must work together. As we have already seen, India has achieved remarkable progress in achieving sustainable development. It depends on the decisions we take every day. Let us all together make this world sustainable, inclusive and progressive. Samridd Bharat that shines for future generations to come. Thank you.
And now I call upon my team Subhanidhi from 10A, Dilshan from 10C, Nithil from 10D, Lakshita from 10F, Sudiksha from 10G and Niranjana from 10H, and myself Jayakiran from 10B. Thank you.